What's going on, everybody? Godzilla Options here with some stock market setups going into the second trading week of February. This is going to be for February 6th, the week of February 6th. And let's get started. So, the stock market took an interesting turn today after better than expected payroll data, and we saw a massive drop and then a run up and then a slight drop again to end things on the downside for the most part. So what we end up seeing here for next week are some setups that we're going to be looking for reversals to the downside. So let's start with PMG, the upside there with PFE. It does have a hammer candle on the weekly, so I'm not very interested in that one as a downside play, mainly because we're actually looking for it to go up very quickly with that PMG, the pivot machine gun there, and take out some stops that people have sitting out there with their short orders. The 2-1 setups with LCID, NEO, and Walmart. So the inside week there is definitely something that's interesting. You can play those either way. We're just going to be looking at the low of the previous week or the high of the previous week, which is this current week here. So from there, our price target is going to be the low or high of that 2 candle, depending on which way we get the market moving at the beginning of the week there. So moving to the 2 up continuations, Apple, Apple, Google, Amazon, they had some pretty modest earnings. In fact, they weren't really all that good, but Apple went screaming up today. So it had a 2 up continuation. We got GM, MGM, NVIDIA, PayPal, Tesla, Ford with the shooter candle. So I'd be looking at a 2-2 reversal to the downside with Ford there. We have outside bars up with FDX, AMC, and UAL. Now, we'll give you a word of caution with AMC and the other stocks that the apes seem to be back in, BBBY, Carvana, to name a few. In fact, Carvana is about to declare, or is in the process of declaring bankruptcy and doing some restructuring. So I personally wouldn't be investing in that, but AMC is definitely a sympathy play from that. So if you wanted to try to get into AMC, that would be the reason why you see it moving like it is moving. If you're going to play the options on there with AMC, be careful though, because the implied volatility is really high on all of those that I just named. So okay, PMG to the downside. These have been moving up for a couple weeks now. So we're looking at a big move to the downside, and the ripe setup here is C at the very bottom there with time frame continuity all red right now. So we'd be looking at a 2-2 reversal to the downside for a quick slide to start taking out some stop losses that people have in there. We also see SPY, QQQ, on this list, XLC, so commodities. A lot of the commodity class is going to be doing their earnings this coming week, so be on the lookout for those earnings and see how XLC and XLP, I think, react. And then we have our 1-2 up rev strats that are setting up there. So we had the 2 up with DIA, and we'd be looking for a 2 down with DIA if it does end up being a valid rev strat. Our 3-1 with V and XOM, V having time frame continuity all green, and XOM energy in general isn't doing too good right now. Time frame continuity all red. Again, just like the 2-1s, your entry is going to be at the higher low of the 1 bar, so the current week, and then your target is going to be the higher low of the previous week, so the 3 bar there, the one that took out the previous week's high and low. Then we have our failed 2 ups, meaning it went up, but it came back down with BA, and that shooter candle definitely is of interest there. So that's probably one I'm going to be taking a look at and keeping an eye on this coming week, along with C, as I mentioned, in the PMG downside above. And then we have our outside bar down with SBUX and XLU. So those are going to be your setups for the week of February 6th. Make sure you like, share, and follow so that you can keep getting more of these tips showing up in your For You page. Take care.